The start of every week, we talk to Jim Bacon, and since we were off yesterday, Jim Bacon from Bacon's Rebellion is back with us with the latest stories from around Virginia. I guess we just keep coming back to UVA. What there after this kid who wore a "Make America Christian Again" hat? Is that offensive to people? It's provocative, I guess, but is it offensive or is it?
Well, apparently some people did find the hat offensive. It's a red hat. It was a red cap, kind of styled like "Make America Great Again."
Yeah, right.
Except it said "Make America Christian Again."
Mm-hmm.
And the young man who wore the cap was named Simon Goldstein.
Simon Goldstein is wearing a "Make America Christian."
He grew up. His father was Jewish. His mother was Christian, but
gotcha.
Neither practiced.
Okay.
And so he grew up in kind of a secular household, but he had Christian friends, and they challenged him to think about his religious beliefs. And a friend took him to church. He began reading the Bible. Next thing you know, he believes that Jesus was the Son of God, and which is great. And anybody can believe whatever they want, and anyone can exhibit that or profess their belief if they want to.
In a free society, that would be true.
Yes. So Simon saw he was online and he saw this Make America Christian Again cap. He thought it was kind of amusing. He bought it. He started wearing it to class. He wore it regularly, and several weeks went by, and then finally he gets this call from the Office of Equality and Civil Rights, OECR, and they heard that he found out that someone had reported him anonymously on the Just Reported system, UVA's Orwellian system, for which people can report other people who commit thought crimes, I guess, if anything deemed to be hostile or harassment of a protected group. So I'm not sure who the person was who
sounds like he's being harassed. And
yeah, well,
and to be honest,
exactly.
let me just make sure I understand. This is the same campus that defended the F word on the door of the student in that preeminent, prestigious spot on Thomas Jefferson's main lawn. They said, oh my gosh, yes, we have to allow this person to say F UVA. That's protected speech. This is not, and then the board member who was outraged by it, they beat the hell out of him. But then wearing a "Make America Christian Again" hat is somehow, we have to have a meeting about it? What's going on?
Yeah. So, it's kind of a bad news, good news story. It turned out okay at the end, but UVA is kind of obligated, I guess, when they get one of these complaints, they've got to look into it. So this lady from the Office of OECR gave him a call, and she wasn't mean or belligerent, but she just asked him, well, why are you wearing this cap? and he explained that he supports it as a Christian, and he's sorry if other people find it offensive, but he does what he does based on he doesn't take that into consideration. He's just expressing himself. And so now then the OECR officer then kind of said, well, do you understand why some people might find this upsetting, and do you think that maybe it would be a good idea if you stop wearing it? So it wasn't like they weren't belligerent or threatening, but they did kind of insinuate that maybe this is something that he should stop doing.
Even the conversation kind of crosses a line, I think, from an official standpoint. I'm trying to think of something comparable. If you were a gay student and you wore a rainbow pin on your jacket, right?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any world in which that would be reported and the administration of UVA would say, well, let's just have a conversation. We're not going to ask them to take the gay pin off or the trans pin or gay rights or you won't have peace or something. I don't think they would do that. Do you? I don't think that would happen.
No, of course not. No, that just absolutely would not happen. So that was two weeks ago. He hasn't heard back from anybody. Simon's not too terribly worried about it, but
right.
he was upset enough about what happened to contact us at the Jefferson Council and let us know about it. So, and I wrote about it on Bacon's Rebellion. So, that's where we are.
Have you heard back from the school where they've said, "Oh yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that phone call. It's obviously a free speech issue. It doesn't threaten. There's nothing threatening about it." And I mean, I would just think they would recognize that.
I didn't even contact them, John, because I mean, first of all, they don't even they rarely respond to me. but also, it's like I think it's the OECR, Office of OECR, is kind of based on federal law, and by federal law and regulation, they are kind of bound to follow up on these reports. So I don't think that it wasn't entirely discretionary. It just kind of it's the way the system is set up. It's not just like President Jim Ryan is up there saying, "Well, we got to crack down on these Christians." I mean, that's not it. It's the way the law is structured. And
but if you were wearing an Obama hat or a Malcolm X hat, Obama. I mean, I guess we could argue whether he's a threat to the country, but whatever. I mean, I'm not going to get into that fight. But let's say a Malcolm X hat. And, I kind of notice if somebody's wearing a Malcolm X hat, is that benign? Are you supporting the movie? Do you hate me as a white person? I don't know. I just can't see them saying, well, do you understand why maybe white people on campus might feel a little uncomfortable about that? Or I just don't see. I think they would freak out just the idea of having the conversation. Like, well, of course we're not going to do that. And in this case, they felt somehow entitled to do it. That's weird, but yeah.
So it's a national problem, John. It's a national law, and I'm sure things like this are occurring around the country now. The question is, how is UVA staffed up to handle more of these things?
Right.
And, I mean, every college, public college in Virginia, they also have something like the Just Report It system. I mean, they're all out there encouraging people to kind of like call in and enforce the standard, kind of the woke standards of. I mean, you can say the pro-Palestinian groups can say anything they want to about Israel, and with the implications for genocide against the Jews, so they can say anything they want. And that's legitimate, but God forbid if you offend somebody's religious beliefs. But it's not even clear. I mean, what kind of protected group or protected class was being offended here? I mean, are atheists and agnostics, are they a protected class?
Right.
So, I mean, it's like...
And why do they get to be offended? Okay, you're offended. Sorry. I will see you at class tomorrow. I mean, I just don't get it. This is why, truly, people need to evaluate what type of leaders are taking these types of roles, because the mindset is so important. If you indulge this kind of behavior where thought crimes are taken seriously, but then you ignore Jewish students being pushed, shoved, hassled, bullied on campus, I think that indicates you got a leadership problem and a mindset problem, and we need some people who will be responsible. I don't think we're training those people anymore, and that's one of the worries I've got going forward. But we got to run. Jim Bacon, baconsrebellion.com. Check it out for some of the stories you won't see anywhere else. Thank you, Jim.
Hands up, John.
8:49. Back with more in a moment on News Radio WRVA.